Global currencies are falling in relation to each other, and all because of the economic warfare which is taking place at a scale which has never been seen, thanks to advanced technologies such as high-frequency trading. Central bankers are now openly stating that banks should lie to the public to make our current state seem better than it is. Complete propaganda. Japan is often used by those in the financial realm as a fail-safe example of how QE, money printing, Keynesian economics can be successful. With all of the recent revelations, plus a new report which cites foreigners fleeing the Japanese stock market, having central banks swooping in to pick up the pieces, it really begs the question of who even believes this. There will be chaos. You came here for the truth, so let me unveil that for you. I have another video to get to today. Once again, pardon the real minimal access I have to the internet. And let's get into this right here. Just want to touch on this for a moment. Yemen's unity Frays in Leaderless Aden. What we're looking at here is a nation that has been bombarded significantly by the drone warfare that has taken place. I'm not going to get into the article itself. Basically, what it's suggesting is that they're going to split into two. Any nation which splits into two, this could be a good thing. It's not necessarily just a surface level bad thing. But what I have seen, particularly in the Middle East, is we have this tribal warfare which takes place at a grand scale. Whether it's for religious reasons, whether it is for any other historical reason, what we have is different factions that are basically fighting against each other for a whole host of reasons. And what we have is divide and conquer. They do the same thing in all nations. They try to separate us for every reason possible. And this is what we have to learn from. What's happening in Yemen, we can take it apart and learn from that for our own nations. Now on to the purpose of this video here. As we look at this, supervisors should not tell the whole truth about the bank health. These economists are getting a little bit ridiculous. This happens to be from the Bundesbank. As we look at this, banking supervisors should withhold some information when they publish stress test results to prevent both bank runs and excessive risk-taking by lenders, according to this paper co-authored by the Bundesbank economist. What we have here is complete propaganda, it's complete lies, and they are outputting this because now they're able to do whatever the heck they want to. European banking authorities are due to carry out a fresh round of stress tests next year as they try to restore investor and depositor confidence in the continent's banks after the financial crisis. There is no amount of stress test that they can do to restore confidence because the system itself is broken. But all they need for the stock market to continue rising is to say that the Federal Reserve will print currency. If they say that, if they say they'll continue to keep the interest rates low, then of course everything will continue to rise. But what we have here is money printing to keep those interest rates low, and you have a devaluation of the currency. This is a very good article here, but I need to move on to get onto the next one as we look at this out of Bloomberg, and we see as it loads, foreigners flee Japan stocks at the fastest pace since at least 2004. Now, why is it at least 2004? That's when they started tracking this right here. So it could be much worse. So this is historically the most ever on record. Look at this. Global investors are pulling their money out of Japan's equity market at the fastest pace since at least 2004. We're looking at billions of dollars leaving the market at such a rapid rate. Now, what happens here? Well, obviously, as that comes down, that signals for the central bank to come in, print up the currency, and buy it up. This is happening with China, with Japan, with other central banks doing the same thing. The SNB, where we have all kinds of them. I've been showing you that here. We have the incentive programs that I've talked about many times before. This is no different than what is happening everywhere. So, not to get into this too much, but it is very important to note. Then we look at this with the Turkish Lira dropping to an all-time low against the dollar. The currency war is certainly on right now. Now, do you want your currency to be low against the US dollar? In many ways, perhaps you do, because you want to be more attractive to exports for their products. But you have to also think of it the other way. What if Turkey needs to buy something from the US? Not just the citizens themselves, because, of course, just like the free trade agreements, they don't care about us. It's all about the trade between the nations and their businesses, the military-industrial complex, and other big corporations. That's what they're worried about. So the Turkish companies who are involved in this, they are going to be hurting if they need to purchase from the U.S. And this is just one small example. I've gone through this ad nauseum. Let's look at this over here. Another example of the $80 billion of the all-weather fund down 4.2% in August. Essentially, another fund that is supposed to be able to weather the storm, but instead it is falling significantly. It says this fund will perform well even if stocks drop or bonds drop, but not at the same time. But that's what's happening apparently in this case. You cannot prepare for this. They try to plan with contingencies in the paper asset market, but you can't do so because they're all interconnected. Every single asset could fall. Every single asset had risen up until the financial crisis, so therefore every single asset can fall. They're not supposed to be like this. I don't suggest that they're supposed to be like this, but historically that's what has been happening over these past few years. We've seen a complete disconnection of reality. And what I wanted to just say to you is that if you found the video informative, please give me a thumbs up. And of course, that if you enjoy the video, you'll enjoy more of my free information. And you can get all of that at my website, themoneygps.com. I have free eBooks for you to check out, the free e-course, which is great for beginners and investors alike, and basically just to learn about the basics and learn about the things that we were never taught in school, the financial education. That's the e-course. You can look at things about my book on there, see all the YouTube videos, and so on. So please check that out at themoneygps.com. Take care.